I'll let Will explain what it actually does. Good morning to you.
How you going, Steve?
Good. Now, my understanding is that if you own a car and you're not using it all the time, that the idea of this would be to rent it out to someone else. Is that true?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So most people who have a car, some people use their cars all the time, but a lot of people very, very rarely use their cars. They might only use it for, the average is about an hour and a half a day. Mm-hmm. So there's 23 or 22 and a half hours, get my maths right, a day that the car's just sitting doing nothing. So what we've put together is a platform that lets people use their cars when they want to, but then at all the times that they're not using it, which is most of the time, they can share it out and earn somewhere between $2,000 to $10,000 a year by doing that.
So what about insurance? How do you get on if someone writes it off? Because you're really hiring a car out, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. That's the first question that everyone asks. And the big problem with sharing your car out or renting your car out normally is that it's the first thing that your insurance company won't allow.
Yep.
So what we've done is we've arranged a fleet policy insurance that covers the cars and whether the owner's driving it or whether one of our borrower members is driving it. So
okay, and is that competitive?
Yes, it's very competitive. People shouldn't notice a change from what they're currently paying. I mean, it depends. Everyone's paying different rates, but it's right in the range of that.
So how do you know the person that's going to rent your car is going to look after the car?
That's a good question, Steve. So what we do is, in order to become a member of Car Next Door, you need to. We ask you quite a long series of questions to make sure that you're the right person and you've got the right driving history, and then we conduct an independent test with an independent check with the Roads and Accidents Authority in the state, and then also. We do a credit check to make sure that, if something does happen, that they're the type of person who's going to actually pay up if they do have an accident, pay the excess.
Sure. I had an idea earlier today where I might think for the weekend I want a ute because I'm going to do some gardening, etc., and I need to cart some stuff where I could say, okay, I'll rent my car out for the weekend, but I want to rent a ute back. So once you're a member of the group, can you rent across the group?
Yes. And that's sort of the benefit of it. So if you've got like a little Toyota Corolla and you use that to nip around every now and again, you can share that out at the times you don't need it. But if you need a ute or a van, you can use another member's as well. So as an owner, you can also be a borrower.
Okay. It seems so simple that others would have done this, have they?
Well, we're the first platform in Australia that enables people to use their cars at the same time as they're sharing it out. So there's no one else who has done that in Australia. And look, the reason why it hasn't been done before is, people have had the idea, but technology is now at such a point where you can make this all seamless. So that's the big difference. We've through the internet and through the device that we put in the car that enables people to get into it with a swipe card. That's those two bits of technology are what enables it to all happen. So you don't even have to meet them to exchange keys or anything. It makes it very easy.
And initially, you've had a pretty good response so far in Sydney. Are you planning to launch in Perth?
Yeah. So the idea is we're running our pilot program in Sydney, and it's only actually in two suburbs of Sydney, Bondi and Paddington. And the idea is we're going to just perfect the system over a few months, and then we're very quickly going to expand throughout the capital cities of Australia. So if people are interested in keeping in touch, then on our website we've got just a registration of interest form that people can fill out, and then they'll get a $25 credit when we launch in that city as well.
All right. And one final one from me. Is there any tax implications here?
It's a really good question, Steve. And like any business, we have to say, look, you need to speak to your own accountant. But what we did was we had a chat with our accountant, and he prepared some advice that we've got up on our website. And basically, what that says is that there's two ways that you can run it. You can run this as a hobby, because most people they're going to be talking $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a year that they're earning from the car. and if it's under that amount, under that sort of a certain threshold, then it's just considered a hobby, and the whole thing is tax should be tax,
neutral,
tax free. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's an interesting one. People will check it out. carnextdoor.com.au. I've got nothing to do with it, but I was impressed with the idea. I think it's got some merit, and particularly with keeping the number of cars on the road down, because if you don't have to go and buy so many different types of vehicles, that can obviously help a few people as well. Well, thanks.
No problems. Yeah, there's huge environmental benefits, taking cars off the road, reducing CO2. Yeah, it's exciting.
All right, good on you. Thanks for your time.